the SEC Conference. We're going to build the best football program in the SEC Conference.
You have now arrived at Stadium in Gale.
The kick, it's been blocked again! How about it? It's been blocked again! It's going to heat one deep down the field. It's going to be to the goal line. It's going to be gone! It's a touchdown! And the Gators have won the game! Tyree Cleveland! How about it? I can't believe what I just saw! Dropping back to throw. Thompson fires the ball over the middle. It's Norrick's got a touchdown! Norrick's got a touchdown! Oh, man! Norrick's got a touchdown!
Ahmad Black, in his final game as a Gator, takes it all the way home and sends Urban out the winner.
You have now arrived at Stadium in Gale.
Boys and girls, ladies and gents, welcome to another episode of Stadium Miguel. It's your boy Corey.
It's Dan.
And Delatorre and Frankie making her Stadium and Gale debut here.
Frankie, what did he do? Give me your takes on Lagway, Frankie.
Well, listen, keep those to yourself. Put those behind a paywall.
Man, that face is mean mugging a little bit.
She got to push shiesty on him, man.
She got to do something, that's for sure. Let me hand it back to Mom real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Already. Shout out to Frankie with the push shiesty, man.
How was your weekend, brother?
Solid, man. Got a Gator win. We don't know how many we going to get, so you got to appreciate them all, man. But did pop Warner Saturday. Out there to the park with my son all day, melting. So I missed the noon slate of games. But it was a good slate of games on Saturday, man. The ones I did miss, I caught up on doing halftime while I'm out there at the field. But good slate of games. Got home in the evening time, watched the 3 o'clock games, and then we got to play at 7. Watched that game with Junior as well. My Jags lost to the Dolphins, so didn't appreciate
wait for Nick to come back for that.
Yeah. We'll talk. We don't have to. We could just act like it never happened. But
there's nothing wrong with being the third best team in the state.
Third best team, man.
Nothing wrong with being
It's
the
true.
third
You
best.
guys are the only ones that don't have a win.
We let them off the hook. We let them off the hook, man.
did.
We had y'all hook. We let y'all off the
being
hook.
a Gator fan and a Jaguars fan and knowing that ETN let you down. The
Oh,
ETN
this
family let
family
you
gotta
down
go.
twice in 9 months, man.
Oh my God, I'm sick of this family. Get them out of my state for sure. Just fumbled the game away. We about to go up 24-7 to put these boys to sleep. I was about to talk Grease. I'm talking Greasy in my house already to my son. And then he fumbled the ball in the end zone, bro. I had to fake a nap. I felt like I was asleep. But it all caught up with me, bro. He was talking big trash. So it is what it is.
He's picked the home team. He's picked the Dolphins.
Yeah, he's a Dolphin fan.
I mean, listen, all we can hope for ourselves is that our children are better than us. And I feel like he's on the right path.
Yeah, I'm gonna let it slide today, man. I have no rebuttals, bro. We took a man. I just knew we was gonna beat, and the game was going exactly how I thought it would, man. Tyreek was about to get arrested. That was our shot right there.
Listen, that was a plant. That was a Duval County cop who stole a uniform and was just waiting to see that car pull up.
Lock that criminal up. I know he was speeding in that super.
Yeah, no, he definitely was. You know what I mean?
Allegedly,
Like, obviously, we don't know the full story. We don't know the full story, and obviously, there's a cop on administrative leave. But I have no doubt in my mind that Tyreek Hill probably ran his mouth a little bit, no doubt. But winning teams figure out ways to overcome trials and tribulations as they come down your way. So, shout out to our Miami Dolphins. Shout out to Harlem Knowles, big Miami Dolphins fan, of course, Nick and myself, representing the teal and orange.
It's unfortunate, man. Teal and black love.
But
we'll see you Thursday night against the Bills.
We will.
Go Bills.
Oh,
How
come
dare
on.
you.
You don't
Big Carrier
you
fan.
don't mean that. You don't mean that.
Big Carrier fan, man.
No,
Just
you don't
bitter.
mean that.
Just
You don't mean
bitter.
that. We appreciate everybody for watching. Shout out to Anthony Beck for the super chat. Shout out to Frankie. She's beautiful. Definitely takes after her mother and not her father.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, absolutely. But guys, big win for the Florida Gators this week. decisive victory, just kind of what you want to see. You want to beat teams where you're supposed to beat them. Wish we had that one more touchdown, but we'll talk a little bit more about the game in a minute. Before we get to the Brun ad read, I do want to let everybody know we are going to be interviewing Emmitt Smith on Friday at 12:15.
Hyped about that.
So stay tuned for that. We're going to talk about his time at the University of Florida, his time in the NFL, and then we're also going to talk about a few things that he's trying to do to raise awareness for drug overdose as well. So that's part of what he wants to talk about, and that's a big push that he's doing as well. So stay tuned for that. Again, that'll be 12:15 Eastern time on Friday here on YouTube. So we appreciate you guys if you want to check that out. We've been trying to get Emmitt Smith on this show since the show started. So he's one of the GOATs at the University of Florida. To be honest with you, is at the top of my list when we started the show of people that I wanted to interview and that we wanted to interview. So super excited that Emmitt Smith's going to sit down with us for 20-25 minutes on Friday. So Corey, why don't we get to an ad?
The all-time rushing leader, man, of the NFL, man. Also a Gator great, but damn sure NFL great for sure. Emmitt Smith, man. I'm excited about that, man. But let me get the ad read in. One time for the great folks at Brun Insurance and Financial Services. Anything you need insured from the Panhandle to the Keys, my man Greg can insure your RV, home, your life, motorcycles, anything you may need insured, or any other financial services in the Southeast. But definitely from the Panhandle to the Keys, my man Greg can take care of you. That number is 954-589-2204, or you can visit bruninsurance.com. Again, that number is 954-589-2204. Big insurance, big coverage, big policies. Greg, what it do, baby?
I love it. All right, gentlemen, the Gators beat the Samford Bulldogs in a much more decisive game than it was a few years ago. 45-7. They go into halftime with just a 14-0 lead. They do have a fumble there by Jaden Baugh at the goal line. So ultimately then score 31 points in the second half. DJ Lagway leads the team with 456 yards passing, which is the most as a freshman quarterback in the University of Florida history. Montrell Johnson with 67 rushing yards, and Eugene Wilson with 141 yards receiving. Guys, what were your thoughts on the game? Just kind of break it down. We'll talk a lot about DJ Lagway here, I know that, but just give me kind of your overall thoughts of the game.
Started a little slow, I guess, but I think you handled business, did what you needed to do. George Gums, I think I held off on writing a story about him just because I think we get to talk to him tomorrow. Tyreek Sapp, my guy, STA Pride, with just poetic poems at the podium about George Gums. I got the big Jabari Zuniga vibes from Chris Rumpf when Chris Rumpf was like, Jabari's not allowed to take his shirt off around my wife. Tyreek Sapp says he calls him the Avenger. Says it looks like he's been in the penitentiary doing workouts for the last couple of years. A kid who started at receiver as a walk-on, then played tight end, just flipped to defense. He shows up big. Still some funky – I saw your video today, Corey. Still some funky rotations, but it was the DJ Lagway show. Looked exceptional. I think the biggest thing, maybe the one that we don't talk about, because obviously the arm strength, the arm talent is there, but looked like he had some poise, moving around in the pocket, sensing where pressure was coming from. Since he's right-handed, he can normally see where the pressure is coming from because you still have the same right side of the offensive line. So it's coming from right in his face. Pause.
Yeah.
Oh. But yeah, I thought Florida did what they do. And you still have to – I think Billy Napier handled it well after the game. Like, this wasn't live stream celebration in the locker room. This wasn't Dan Mullen. Football games are hard to win. Billy came to the podium and was like, don't want to talk down on our opponent, but we're going to have much tougher opponents coming up very soon. So I thought everyone also at the microphone after the game handle themselves well, not to put Samford down, but every other game on the schedule is much more difficult.
Yeah, I like try to dance around a lot of Nick's points because we had a lot of like similar points. But I like the way we started the game somewhat. So that first drive, we're going down the field, and then we stall out. Don't like the play calling on that fourth down where we go for it on 4th and 1, and you put Webb in a wildcat position to run when you got a quarterback that's more than capable of trucking guys and getting that 1 yard. And then the linebackers also got to be cognizant of that he can pull and throw. It just changes the defensive mindset when you put a running back at wildcat. Everybody kind of pinned their ears back. So I thought he telegraphed the play calling a little bit too much, especially with that type of quarterback. So I didn't like that the first drive, but everything after that, man, kind of got rolling with the offense. Outside of the fumble from Jaden Ball, he should have. I think he is a cut he could have made and scored on that. To be honest with you, but not mad at the run. You just got to take care of that ball, baby. And Jaden Ball is going to be one of them guys. I like how many touches he got. We talked about this last week with some of the running backs getting more touches. This was an opportunity. Him and Jackson both look good. With the touches they got, and it's gonna be interesting to see how the running back workload continue to play itself out and how that pecking order looks, snap wise, and also just running attempt wise. Defense, I expect the defense to kind of have to get their feet under them a little bit with this type of air raid, ball out real fast offense, and they did what they were supposed to do early. A lot of these teams that you're playing on that level, they're gonna get the ball out quick. They got some good scripted drives. They move the ball pretty good. Yeah. Early on in the game until, we slowed the game down a little bit. Our defense adjusted to what they were trying to do. So like from a totality, I like the way we played defensively. It could be a lot better with some of the tackling, but I thought like turnover wise, Marshall punches went out. I'm seeing more of a nose for the football. Tyreek fumbled one that we should have got. It was like he was trying to pick up a soap in the same prison that Gums was in. He's trying to pick up a bar of soap in that joint. And he should have grabbed that one, man. So it was a few more turnovers. Castell dropped the pick. We just got to bring those home, but it seems like we're in better position to make those type of plays this past game. And I'm considering the opponent. We'll see what happens with Texas A&M this week. Pass rush seemed better, even though they were trying to get the ball out quicker. We just seen a little bit better pass rush wise. Do want to see more Searcy. Do want to see way more Gums. We don't have to rotate as much. Once you see the guys that are starting to click and make plays, get them guys more reps, and until they sucking air and tapping their helmet, leave those guys in. Not pleased with the linebacker rotation. I just don't see it with Wingo. From a leadership standpoint, he's a rah-rah guy. I get it, but this isn't Pop Warner. Even in Pop Warner, everybody don't get a chance to play just because you're on the team. It's the best players play. And that's just how it is, man. So I just think the best players absolutely need to play on that defense. Wouldn't mind seeing some more. I love Aaron Gates. I thought he played well. I think he's a hard guy to block. I like the way he plays a star. They was doing a lot of that bubble action. He was knifing through a lot of that, bruh. So do like what I seen from Aaron Gates. I don't want to get to the second half, and we haven't talked any DJ Lagway, but first half, I like what I saw, man. DJ Lagway, just that first throw, when they moved the pocket, I knew. I was like, bombs away, baby. We'll see if he catch it. And it came down on the other end. Bro, like, Badger got to take a better angle and go ahead and score on the other pylon. I don't know why he did all the dancing. I thought if he kept running towards the outside pylon, he scores there. But you got to love what you saw from DJ Lagway, man. That deep ball is everything. I never seen him put the ball in position. Even when he threw in triple coverage, it was still in a position where the ball was safe. And he didn't put the ball at risk for any type of turnovers, man. I can't say enough good things about the guy. I know I'm pretty sure I'm gonna say more, so I want to release the mic to you.
Yeah, no, we're gonna talk about DJ Lagway a lot here. Do want to just talk about the defense. We'll just start with the defensive side of the ball, just because we're gonna have a lot of conversation on DJ Lagway, no doubt. So want to give some stars where they're due, but this is the drive chart for Samford. They start the game, fumble, punt, half. That they score a touchdown coming out of the second or out of halftime there, and then end the game with punt, half. So again, a lot of these drives, they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total drives that went more than just 3, but they only had 2 drives that went more than 12 play, or went more than 6 plays. So good job by the defense. Again, it is Samford, but at the end of the day, you still have to play. And there's some talented players that have transferred to Samford. Their number 1 wide receiver is a former Alabama guy, right? So again, you want to see this kind of performance out of them. Overall, what you saw out of the defense, you mentioned a couple there, a couple names there, Corey and Nick, but I thought Tyreek Sapp had a great game. Jamarcus Weston ended up with a sack and fumble. So shout out to Jamarcus Weston. You mentioned Jason Marshall. I thought he played well. Dejon Johnson's snaps went up in this game. So again, overall a solid performance by the defense. You saw LJ McCray get in the backfield quite a bit during that game as well. He ended up with a hurry, 2 tackles, a lot of hurries in this game. They ended up with 12 hurries, 3 sacks, 2 quarterback hits, 1 batted ball, and how many fumble? Just 2 fumble recoveries. So again, great job by the defense in that game. Again, it is Samford, but you still have to do what you should do against teams like Samford. So want to give the boys credit for an all-around solid performance there on defense. Again, those games could be tricky. Obviously, Florida had a tough loss to Miami. Where's the team's headspace at? There's a lot of conversation, a lot of noise in the program and in the system right now. So how do you react to that? And I thought that the boys reacted well. So again, nice to see a good dominant defensive performance by some of the guys that you expect to see dominant performances by.
Yeah, on defense, I do think Jakeem's got to get better football awareness and get his head around. Like he's in position, but it's awareness. And until he figures that out, I like what I've seen out of Dejon Johnson.
Yeah,
like, straight up. I think Mustard is bringing the beat a little bit there. You feel me?
Yeah,
like, you gotta play the guys that are just making plays, man. And right now, Devin Moore, he's still battling injuries. That's just been the story of his career. I'm not going to expect him to change, his stripes at this point. So mustard me, man, until otherwise shown any different. I just like this energy on the field is also like like you just watch. I like to watch players and their aura and the energy they bring around other teammates. And Mustard bring that energy, bro. And he's also in place. He has football awareness. Jakeem got to get better football awareness.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally agree. I feel like I told some lies about Jakeem Jackson coming in. We just haven't seen it
Give it
all
time.
together.
We lied about Marshall for a little bit, and then he figured it out, right?
Yeah.
So he still got time.
We got time.
We got time.
So top performers on defense by Pro Football Focus were, Jamarcus Weston gets the #1 overall spot on defense, followed by Tyreek Sapp, Cameron Jackson, Jason Marshall, RJ Moten, Dejon Johnson, Micah Boyru, Brian Taylor Jr., Greg Smith, and LJ McCray are your top 10. Aaron Gates is sitting there at 11, just behind LJ McCray. So again, solid defensive performance.
Jamarcus Weston caught a touchdown against Samford in 2021.
Man,
there's a sack against Samford.
I mean,
in 2024.
Killer, right?
Whoa, watch out!
I told y'all I try him at offensive tackle, man. Why not? He's been a utility guy of all sorts, man.
Right tackle.
Yeah.
So you're gonna start Jamarcus Weston at right tackle.
Hey, give it a try. And we still got weights over there, right?
Sure do. Yep, sure do.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, you mentioned Derek Wingo, low, ranked 33 out of 35 players on defense. Pup Howard was 30th out of 35 guys on defense. So, again, can't look at everything that Pro Football Focus has. Jakeem Jackson is 26th. They didn't grade the linebacker group very well in this game. TJ Searcy was 15th overall in his 28 snaps, but the linebacker group didn't grade out super well. Again, you can look at Pro Football Focus with a grain of salt or an entire wheelbarrow of salt if you want, but just looking at overall grades here. Overall 17 total pressures on 69 plays, not bad for the defense.
Yeah, it's not an ideal matchup for your linebackers. I wasn't terribly upset at Moten. I think in these type of situations, for sure, passing downs, he's not bad. He's not bad. I know I was giving the guy a hard time for moving the linebacker, but I wasn't upset at his play. But this is not an ideal matchup for linebackers, I would say. We do want to see it condensed a little bit more, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Offensive side of the ball, let's just get to that real quick. Let me pull up the drive chart here. Started not an ideal first half for the Gators. Obviously, you turn the ball over on downs, touchdown, fumble at the goal line, touchdown, punt, turn over the ball on downs there to end the second half. Obviously, the second half told a completely different story. Touchdown, field goal, touchdown, punt, touchdown to end the game. So kind of a tale of two halves there. But guys, I mean, I don't know if we can have this conversation without just mentioning just how great DJ Lagway was overall in this game. So from a passing perspective, DJ Lagway goes 18 for 26 for 456 yards, 17.5 yards per attempt, 3 touchdowns. Do want to give Aiden Warner, the backup, his flowers too. He ended up scoring a touchdown. The Yale transfer, former
Winter
Bulldog
Park kid from just down the road.
Just down the road. The former Bulldog beats a Bulldog.
I was in this joint lit, bro. The whole game, Lagway just throwing people open. Like these throws he's making, the anticipation, like they're just throwing guys open. These guys ain't open like that. Mazzell he didn't blow by this guy. The guy was on his hip. The ball placement is absolutely crazy. The sideline throw, I think he hit Badger on, was absolutely crazy. Like it jumps out on film. And the ball leaves his hands, his presence, like in the locker room, his aura pregame, like you can just see it. He has that Rick James glow. Like the kid has it straight up. Like
that pass to Mazzell on WRUF today. Shane Matthews says that's the best pass he's seen in the swamp. That no Spurs quarterbacks are making that throw, and I got a different angle of it. I got a sideline angle of it, or an end zone angle of it. He threw it like up into the pocket. I think what I was impressed with,
he had to climb the pocket, and he threw it like off
Waits doesn't get a finger on a guy. Runs around. DJ kind of looked like he was about to take off, and he had a little bit of a lane. Maybe we could have picked up 5-10 yards. Looks back up. Mazzell breaks the route, turns it upfield, and DJ kind of like jumped through it, totally off balance, not able to set your feet, and the ball just goes 40 effortlessly and into a tiny window. That's a big league throw. I think Neil Blackman, who filled in for me, I had all kinds of in-laws in town last weekend. Neil Blackman said there's a handful of people, and I think he's right. There's probably a handful of people, maybe 10 people on the planet that can make that kind of throw and put it into that spot. It will be interesting. Are you pulling it? Oh, here it is. There's that 2 for 2 for 118 down.
Yeah. And
interesting.
2 for 2 on the left side for 80 yards with a touchdown.
A lot of passes past that yellow line.
Yeah.
Which you don't see if you switch to quarterbacks.
And just 3 total incomplete passes beyond that 10-yard line as well. 2 down the middle, over 20 yards, and then he goes 1 for 2 down the middle for 10 to 20 yards. So again, just looks like everything that he was promised as a prospect, right? Is he perfect? No, but it's still Samford, yes, but some of the throws that he was making were the same coverage you would get if you were playing Texas A&M, if you were playing Tennessee, LSU, right? Like some of the passes he was making are passes that you would complete against Georgia, right? So he looked poised, he looked calm, he looked ready to go. I mean, I think he's the real deal, guys.
AR makes some of those passes. Scully put it in the chat there. AR needs that Elon Musk SpaceX NIL deal sponsorship. My guy was making sending rockets out, but
he got a cannon, but I don't know if AR makes that same touch throw like when he's climbing the pocket. Even the one to Badger on the sideline, the ball placement is just crazy. While AR has like better arm strength, I would say, than Lagway, the combination of arm strength and accuracy, I don't think like they're like this kid is just on a different level, and he's beyond his time. And we'll have a conversation about how they potentially rotate these guys, but he created the right type of atmosphere that we need, bro, and the type of conversation that we need. I just think the offense looked totally different. It opened up more running lanes, I would think, for Trey Wilson. We played Charlotte last year. People keep talking about the competition in Sanford, but for Charlotte last year, we were very stale. We could not get rolling, and that was very frustrating. So to watch the offense just open up and blossom into a lot of different aspects that we saw, like the RPO it's going to help the offensive line out a little bit because the defensive line's got to maintain rush lanes and disciplines as far as keeping the edge and setting the edge. They don't have to do the same thing and not worry about the quarterback pulling in the RPO if it's Mertz. It's just a different vibe with this kid in. We'll see how it all plays out, but I'm excited about his future. And I like what he said in the presser after the game as well. There was a lot of conversations about his time at Florida so far and how he's liking it. And he said he's a Gator through and through. That gave me a lot of like just calmness and a little ease with what may happen later on the season. We don't know, but I think he's in love with the fan base and the whole environment at the University of Florida, bro.
They it will be interesting to see how they handle it. Now, I think if Lagway, if Billy does what fans want and just names Lagway the starter, I think he will throw Peyton Manning levels of interceptions. Peyton Manning rookie year interception levels.
We had to get a negative.
One thing I do want to say is I think on that RPO level, Silk, like DJ is not a running quarterback. He's a guy who wants to be a pocket passer, has the arm talent that we just saw, who can also break off a 30-yard run.
Sure.
But he wants to be a pass-first quarterback. So I've been calling him a dual threat, and he is, but I don't want that to be, so the older generation, is he a runner or is he a quarterback? It's like, well, he's both. He can do both.
2024, we're here, man. You can do both these days.
Well, he's a threat, right? He's a dual threat.
Yes,
yeah.
A big threat.
100%. Yeah. He is a threat enough that you're playing 11 on 11. Like if you're a defense and Graham Mertz is Florida's quarterback, you're not playing 11 on 11. You're playing 11 on 10 because you're not really worried about Graham running. He might you might give up 30 yards rushing, 40 yards rushing a game to Graham, but you're not worried about it. You'll concede that once, one time a drive, twice a half maybe. Lagway, you've got to have a spy. You've got to have somebody. Hey, watch him. Where is he going? Because if he needs to, and if it presents itself, he'll have a 100+ yard rushing game.
Sure,
at Florida,
100%.
I just think where he is, from seeing him in the spring, from seeing him in the fall, and from following him towards the end of his junior year in high school, towards the end of his senior year in high school, or his entire senior year in high school, he just did everything there. He was always the biggest kid on the field. They didn't have a lot around him, and it was just kind of like, hey, go make a play, and he would. And I think you have to kind of get that out of somebody. When you're the biggest, strongest, fastest kid on every field you play, you can just go kind of do stuff, and you don't have to worry about progressions or things, or you can just take off and run. I think he did a good job of getting down. There were 2 instances I can remember where there was a helmet-to-helmet hit, no targeting called. Completely missed that. One of them where it looked like his bell was rung a little bit. The trainers ran out. He told him to get away. But he's 19 years old. And if you start him the rest of the way, you're going to have to live with 19-year-old errors and 19-year-old mistakes.
For sure.
That's why I say those windows that he's fit some balls into some tight windows against Samford. Those windows are way smaller when it's Tennessee, when it's Georgia, when it's Texas, LSU. Those linebackers are faster than the safeties that you were trying to throw over. I think, and if it were me, I'd start DJ, and if it didn't go well, I'd go to Graham. I don't think that's going to be the case. I said last week. I said last week in the second quarter. I tweeted it out, which the response was exactly what I expected. I was like, you guys are going to be mad as hell when Graham starts next week. And I've maintained that whenever Graham clears concussion protocol, which he should be clearing it right around now as Florida finishes up practice Monday night, he will be the starting quarterback.
Yeah, I ain't mad at it. I get this is a coach. This is a safe coaching staff. I never expected these guys to jump to Lagway as a starter. But I'm super ecstatic that Lagway presented this problem for them because we went vertical as hell. And the moment we can't go vertical, everybody's already seen it. Like it ain't absolutely all the play calling, right? It's also the guy that's at the helm of the quarterback position. Even when he's trying to go deep, the deep ball accuracy just isn't there. And also he's not giving guys opportunities just to win jump balls or whatever it may be. The deep ball just doesn't work. What Lagway presented with Sanford everybody got to watch the film. It's not a lot of film on Lagway, but if you watch the film, it's going to open up defenses a little bit because now you can't load the box. It's going to help the run game,
right.
And also some of the bubble screens and some of the sideways stuff that we do want to do. You just got to go vertical for a lot of this stuff to work, and we haven't had a vertical game whatsoever. And Graham Mertz seemed to be pressing last game. The Miami game, with trying to go vertical. It just wasn't there. It's just not in his game to do that. And some guys make their living just dinking and dunking. Tom Brady made, he's probably the GOAT, and that was his specialty, is dinking and dunking and letting guys do the magic after they catch the ball a little bit. But right now, this offense is condensed too much. It's put in the box. We haven't went vertical in a very long time. And you got the Badger one-on-one. I like him to beat a lot of DBs in the SEC. Same thing with Mazzell one-on-one. I like them guys to win a lot of those matches. These are speedsters. So just opportunities to throw that ball deep. You got to play Lagway. If he struggles, I get playing both guys. But if I'm the coach in this instance, this is why they paid Nick Saban the big bucks and why he's probably the greatest of all time, because like he benched a Heisman winner for a freshman, and it was just per competition.
In the
I
national
got the
championship game.
Come on, bro. Like, and this is an easier decision in my opinion. This is not a tough decision. You're not benching a bona fide superstar or a bona fide NFL draft pick here. You're playing the better talented guy that may not know the playbook as much, but that's where coaching comes in. So in my opinion, they should start Lagway. And if he struggles, you can always go back to Mertz. There's no rules to this, man. We watch the old ball coach flip-flop quarterbacks all day, every day. Yeah. I don't trust these coaches to give me a good rotation. If in a game plan, we're going to get Lagway the third series, I think that's just what it's going to be. They're not going to go with the feel of the game. We talked about the rotation, offensive line, linebacker, whatever position it may be. We haven't liked the rotation from this staff in any area, so I don't trust any rotation from them guys.
Just looking at the blocking grades here on PFF, I'll pull those up for you guys real quick. Again, not a outstanding performance blocking again. Especially on the right side of the ball when it comes to pass blocking. At right tackle, Cam Waits, tough game. Caden Jones, tough game. Rod Kearney, kind of lower down here. Damian George does well in pass blocking. When it comes to run blocking, though, I mean, Devon Manuel, Bryce Lovett down here in the 50s. Just not a great performance by the offensive line. And I know Texas A&M has a very solid defensive line, especially when it comes to stars and their notoriety. They haven't really done a lot in their first two games. And we'll talk a little bit more about Texas A&M here in a bit. But this DJ Lagway now, with him being a threat to be a runner or the ability to move in the pocket, help fix some of those potential issues with your offensive line, especially on the right-hand side, where it makes sense for DJ Lagway as being more mobile and not being somebody that just came out of a concussion to now does it become this could be not necessarily a panacea or a cure-all for your offensive line issues, but like, does he help solve what is like not an issue that even looked like it got fixed against Samford?
Yeah, it's it'll be interesting because you have Jay Bateman, who is the defensive coordinator now, calling plays there. Left Florida to get that job, to get the opportunity to call plays. Don't know that he loved having a 30-year-old brought in to call plays when they were looking for a new defensive coordinator after year one. So now he gets to call the show. I think A&M has like one sack through two games, Dan.
Yeah.
Not great.
Exact numbers, yeah.
Not great. But he knows Graham. He knows the defensive line. He knows the offensive weapons. He knows the running backs. He knows what Billy is going to call, probably when he's going to call it. Probably at the same time, he can probably predict what Billy's going to call for an entire drive. Spent 2 years watching it in practice. So that would be interesting. He doesn't know what DJ Lagway can do. Doesn't know. There isn't a lot of film. There's only one game of film on DJ Lagway. That'll be a big, kind of chess match to me. Billy Napier, when asked after the game who called the plays this week, who called them last week, said we call them. I get that. Like, it's a collaborative effort.
It's not.
Monday,
no, it's
Monday
not.
To Friday. From Monday to Friday.
No game plan.
Monday to Friday is a collaborative effort to make the game plan.
No, only one person can call the plays in the headset though. Like only one player, only one coach. I mean,
yeah. Like I do want to like this guy, and I appreciate him coming on the podcast. But like, I'm so sick and tired of like these like dumbass responses to questions. Like, obviously somebody's calling plays. Like, you're not all sitting with your microphones on and being like, all right, all 5 offensive coaches, what play do you want to call? And they're like, well, I want to call veer right. Well, I want to call veer left. Well, I want to throw a post route to Elijah back. What do you guys want? Pick a number 1 through 5. Okay, cool. We're going 5. Like, that's not how it works. And like, I'm tired of being talked to like we're idiots. Like, why does it matter who calls the plays, right? It doesn't. So like, why do we have to be so secretive about it? Like, nobody thinks the offensive coordinator like sits in a corner office and just like sits there and doesn't talk to anybody. Like we know everybody game plans. We've just asked you, you have the head coach as the offensive coordinator, and then you have 2 co-offensive coordinators. Like, who's calling plays? We're just curious. It allows us to do our podcast better, Billy. So just answer that question. You know what I mean?
Man, it's like turning your homework in with no name on it. Got wait to see if you get an A first, and then like, all right, put my name on it. Nobody wants to claim it, man, because if it goes bad, you can single out a guy. It's just no accountability. It just all goes back, and we need to also talk about just the penalties in that game. Like, it's just so many nonsense penalties and
that or timeout after the big play. Have we ever been able to run a play after a big play? Are we just like so shocked that we went like 50 yards? Like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, it's like my son's team this weekend.
Like, I'm not trying to be negative, right? Like,
you're muted, Nick. It sounds like you had a good dope.
Everyone's just staring up at the jumbotron, like, "Wait, did you see that?
Yeah,
I called that,
guys.
I called that."
The offensive staff is all together, all 5 of them, be like, "Who called that play? Who called that play? You guys did a great job."
We all called it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's hard for me to tell. It's Sanford, so I don't. And it's also a different quarterback, so I don't know if the play calling was any better or any worse. You feel me? Because whoever called that 4th down call, I wouldn't put my name on that group project. You know what I'm saying? Like, that wasn't a great call. So I get it, but my biggest thing from that game, we just got to talk about just some of the realness. This team is very undisciplined, and it's going to cost us in big games. When you're in close games, it don't matter the opponent in any game. You just can't have nonsense penalties. It's too many nonsense penalties of 15-yarders. And I'm not used to watching football and guys make these type of mistakes and nobody get chewed out. I'm talking about by assistant coach. Somebody got to chew somebody out, bro. This is big league football. This is the SEC. You can't, like, this isn't the men's 30-plus flag league at the church. This is big boy football, big boy checks. People pay a lot of money to come to the stadiums. Players making mistakes. I need to see a Muschamp, Nick Saban chew out from somebody. It ain't got to be Billy. Teams take on the personality of their coach, and this team is way too relaxed, man. I need somebody to get some type of urgency and some type of spunk, on my sidelines. Everybody's too chill.
Ask Clay Burton. Clay Burton would love to play for Billy Napier. Kelvin Taylor probably wouldn't mind it.
77 yards of penalties against Samford. They had 2 against Miami, 8 against Florida State, 9 against Missouri, 6 against LSU, 7 against Arkansas to end last season too. So it doesn't seem to be getting any better. And they're, like you said, Corey, just a lot of like stupid penalties, not ticky-tack penalties, just like stupid penalties. It's frustrating.
No, it's complete nonsense. And it was that same game I think we played. I don't think Miami got a penalty that game. Did they? Maybe like 1 or 2. You're just watching other teams that you're playing with similar time frames of we hired guys at the same time, and they had more just influxes of transfers starting for them. But it's just no discipline, man. And you cannot run a good football program with like the lack of big plays. You're just not there as a program. I know we had some Urban Meyer teams that made mistakes, but those are different type of teams, bro. Where this team is at, you got to minimize the mistakes. straight up.
You don't have room for error.
Sloppy.
That team had
Right.
room for error. All of Urban Meyer's teams had room for error. Miami Bama Canes here. Shout out to you for keep watching the show. They had 2 penalties for 26 yards in that game. Want to get to a lot more commentary here. Do want to give some
Miami's over. Move on. Y'all still watching us, man. Like, what is it?
We appreciate you still watching.
Yeah, make sure you hit the like,
subscribe. If you want to, Bama Cane, hit us with a super chat. We will read whatever you write.
Yeah, let's visit some of these super chats. This is from a long time ago. Anthony Beck, Cuzzo's joining the show. I think he's talking about Emmitt Smith. I'm not sure if they're actually cousins or play cousins.
Yeah, no, it's his cousin.
It
was at a wedding like earlier this year. He was flexing the selfie video. Yeah.
Oh, okay. See if he can join us on our show as well. Seems like you got a hotline right in. So we appreciate. I always appreciate Anthony Beck because he's got a good podcast about the Gators. And anytime we have a guest, he's in the comments saying, "Hey, will you come on our chat? Or come on our podcast too?" So, here Anthony Beck also said he'll be in the building this weekend. Emmitt Smith will be there as well. So hopefully you guys can link up and hang out. It should be a fun atmosphere in Gainesville. Want to look at Jason Yuli's chat here. Why are we still rotating offensive linemen? Also, Deshaun Johnson needs to be starting. So let's look back at that. And of course, I just closed that window.
That's what I said, Jason.
Yeah. So here we are. Let me pull up the we'll pull up pass blocking here first from Pro Football Focus because I think that this is necessary to continue to look at. And Nick, I kind of want to hear what your thoughts are on this overall. So here we are. Appreciate you, Jason. Let me zoom in here a little bit on these numbers. So at right guard, Damian George plays 22 snaps. Bryce Leavitt plays 12 at left guard. Devon Manuel plays 12 at left tackle. Brennan Crenshaw Dixon plays 17 at right tackle. Jake Slaughter plays 27 at center. Fletcher Westfall gets in the game at left tackle. Rod Kearney, Caden Jones, Cam Waits plays 14 at right tackle. Austin Barber plays just 15 times at left tackle. And Najee Harris plays 23 times in pass blocking in these downs. So if you break this down into total number of plays, Jake Slaughter, Najee Harris, Damian George are like your clear-cut stars. They're playing the most there. Brandon Crenshaw Dixon and Cam Waits, 17 snaps versus 14. I mean, I'm getting close to done with the Cam Waits experience. I don't know if Brandon Crenshaw Dixon's much better, but like I'm getting eerily close there. But then we have Devon Manuel playing 12 snaps to Austin Barber's 15. Nick, I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's not. The math ain't mathing.
Yeah. I had I can't share it, but I had some conversations because they were off the record. Some of the players.
Nobody listens to this show, man. Go ahead and say
some of the players don't understand it either. I don't get it. To me, you keep saying, listen, I get it. It's just coach speaks on it. I'm not mad at it. But also if it gets thrown back in your face, like you can't be mad at that either. So I get it. Like, hey, we're still trying to find the right 5. We're still trying to, find the best combinations.
I can eliminate a few of them for them. Like, you trying to find the best 5, take Waits out of it. And we can start experimenting with him.
Well, the other thing too is the staff wasn't very high on Devon Manuel in the spring or in the fall or in fall camp. Maybe towards the end of fall camp, he started playing a little better. But if you want to keep trying him at left tackle, Austin Barber's played right. You can slide him over to right tackle. He played very well at right tackle.
Yeah, he sure did. Yeah.
Before you moved him over. Austin Barber's one of your best 5, if not one of your best 2 on the offensive line.
Yeah.
And playing him anything less than 90% of the snaps when he's 100% healthy,
right?
To me, doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it just seems to me, I don't know if there was a promise when it came to the transfer portal. At the end of the day, you have to earn your spot. Like, I don't care what you said to somebody when you're recruiting him, right? Like, at the end of the day, like, what is he going to do? Transfer in the middle of the season? Like, that's not possible, right? Like, I'm not saying that Devon Manuel is a bad player. I think that he's playing well when he comes in. I just don't understand the constant change that we're having on the offensive line. And I just don't think that I've ever seen it before. Right. And especially with how porous your right side has been, like, why aren't you trying something different? Right. Like, why can't Devon Manuel, who's also played right tackle in his career, play right tackle? Or if you really want to play Devon Manuel at left tackle because you think the difference between him and Austin Barber is not that big, then move Austin Barber over to the right tackle spot. Now, I don't know what kind of conversations are being had. I don't know if anybody's digging their feet in the sand about, only wanting to play that position, because obviously there's a huge potential payday in the NFL if you can make it at left tackle. But at the end of the day, Florida's got to do something because it is not good. And it just seems to really mess up the flow of what you ultimately want out of your offensive line. And that's 5 players playing as one, right? Like, don't have a hat that says 5 equals 1 and wear it if you really mean like 8.5 or 9 equals 1.
I gotta make new hats.
Gotta make new hats. Maybe I'll make a hat.
9 equals
Make
1.
sure-
Maybe a shirt.
Make sure it matches the mat.
How dare you? Unnecessary shot at the mat, which is, by the way, doing
2
his
for 2.
job. Doing his damn job.
2 for 2. Shout out to that, man. They learn how to count.
Shout out to the mat.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on the offensive line, especially like we are talking about that right side. But it's just a few guys you can eliminate. They just aren't playing good football. And I don't understand why they keep marching the same guys out there. I don't know why Austin Barber is the lowest snap count of any of those guys. I think you got to find a 5 that are playing pretty well, find a spot for each of those 5 and let them play, and let them gel a little bit. This past game was an opportunity to get a solid 5 into jail, not to be like, we're not in fall camp anymore. We shouldn't still be doing tryouts at any positions. You should have your pecking order. If a guy is not living up to the billing, you snatch him out, plug and play another guy, shuffle guys around, figure this out. But you need a 5 to jail before SEC play, and we ain't do none of that.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how it all plays out. I'm not very high on Texas A&M defensive line, but our offensive line is bad, and teams tend to wake up on us. Like, I'm not high on Texas A&M quarterback, but versus us, shit, he may turn into Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
Connor Wegman.
You have Sean Spencer and Jay Bateman on that defensive side of the ball that probably want to make some things happen. You have Jaden Hill and Scooby Williams on the defensive side of the ball. We'll talk about the Shamar James quote when we get to Texas A&M. That was funny. And then I know Graham Hall put that out there and it kind of caught wind. And then he provided some more context. Like, no, Graham, just keep it as it was. You know what I mean? I like that energy. Let's get to a couple more super chats. Matt Thornton here said, you got to play DJ to get the fan base back after the rural Central Florida basement comment. The DJ chance of the game should tell you that.
I know Matt's got posters of DJ all up in his rural Central Florida basement.
I'm
DJ
about to get
plastered all over the walls in that basement.
I'm about to have a picture of me and DJ all over, like, just checkered all over my basement.
And then Harrison had this question that's kind of related earlier. Not a super chat, Harrison. I know that you super chat other podcasts, so make sure you next time. This is the last comment you get. So what happens when Mertz struggles in the first quarter and then DJ comes in and scores? Do you think that Billy will let DJ cook?
Mertz comes in and struggle. I don't think he have a choice because the whole building is going to be booing. And I don't think the boos is going to be directed per se at Graham Mertz, but the fans are speaking for themselves. Like, you heard a stadium just chanting. And I think the players in the post game, they spoke very glowingly, and they, you can see the Rick James glow on the players. It's like contagious a little bit, man. So I think if he struggles, you got to go. If he starts and struggles, you got to put DJ Lagway in fairly quick. But I've seen Billy do more things that didn't make sense. So I'm not gonna try to say what he will do. But I think if he was to struggle for Graham's sake, the team's sake, it's one thing to lose the fan base, but when you start losing the locker room, that's when it gets wicked. And I think you're on the cusp of losing the locker room if you're not playing the absolute best guy at quarterback to be able to win games.
Yeah, it's interesting because the locker room likes Graham. Like the players like Graham. He's been a great teammate. He's been a leader. They're behind him.
It ain't personal.
But it ain't personal, baby. Like, being a backup quarterback with a free Mercedes lease is not a bad gig.
Hell no. I'll take it.
I sent you that tweet, and I put so Billy brought it up since we're on this topic, how much will DJ play? Billy brought it up in 2018. his first year, Levi Lewis was a redshirt freshman, but Billy had a senior quarterback, and he also had Levi Lewis. And he mentioned, hey, we've done this before. We've played two guys before. And I went and looked up on PFF all the snaps that Levi Lewis got that year.
Handoffs.
Well, like against Grambling State, 25 snaps, 5 passes. That's tough.
It looks like a lot of handoffs here, Corey.
So he played 21% of the snaps, but only 59 of his 196 snaps were passes. So I can tell you right now, not to put feelings in Florida fans' mouths or thoughts into their heads. I'm very tired. Like words are gonna be slipping. I'm very tired.
How do you think, man?
So tired. I look at this and I go, Florida fans will not be happy if that is DJ Lagway's line at the end of the year. They will not be happy Saturday if that's DJ's line. I've learned a little bit about Billy Napier. Like, he's not going to tell you everything, but he's not going to lie to you.
Oh yeah, we all know that.
I think this is probably a good barometer of what we should expect out of DJ Lagway.
I hope
until proven otherwise.
I hope not.
A good
like
roadmap.
Levi Lewis was great for UL, but like DJ Lagway could be, and we don't know, right? Like we're speaking in definitives when we probably shouldn't, but like DJ Lagway could be like a generational quarterback, right? I mean, he was the Gatorade National Player of the Year. I don't know if Levi Lewis was the All-Sport National Player of the Year. You know what I mean? Shout out to All-Sport. That might have been the worst.
Yeah.
You know, shout out to my parents.
Had a run.
But like before a hockey game, my dad might go to the convenience store and get like, I'd be like, yeah, I need a Gatorade. And he'd give me an All-Sport. I'd be like, oh, man. Yeah, anyway. But, like, I do think.
Son, the Gatorade's for ballers. I get you this
but I do think, obviously, that, like, there's something to glean from this, right? But I don't think you can only play him 9 snaps. I don't think that you can play him 11 snaps. I don't know if it's 20. I don't know if it's 22. I don't know how you work that in, right? Like we just talked about how often like you're rotating the offensive line, like doing that with the quarterback can be debilitating to a team. But at the end of the day, you have to give him, I know I said at the end of the day a lot today, I apologize. You have to give him the opportunity to prove what he can do against a better team and a better defense to be able to map out what this year looks like. Now, I think that Graham Mertz is a potential backup NFL quarterback, right? Like, I don't think that Graham Mertz is bad. I think that he's got some areas to improve in his game, but I think that Graham Mertz could potentially get, you know, a late round draft grade. But
so
to
like when I said he was fine.
Yeah.
And people didn't like that. Graham Mertz is fine.
Well, Graham Mertz, like I think was fine plus last year, right? Like
fine plus.
We
added the subscription service to his name. Fine plus.
He exceeded my expectations last year. I tell you that.
But yeah, I mean, but you've got to do something. You've got to figure out a way to get him on the field, right? You've got to see what you have, right? Like, was it an aberration against Samford? Like maybe. Like, I don't think it was. Like, I think you saw him make passes that you haven't seen a Florida quarterback make in a long time consistently, no matter who the opponent is, right? Like, we've seen Florida struggle with your Furmans and your Charlottes and your Samfords, right? Like, I think you've got to give him a shot. And I think the fan base was rejuvenated and energized watching DJ Lagway saying, hey, like, maybe there's hope in our future.
Yeah, the only thing that scares me. Yeah, and I do think like people in the comments saying they don't think he's good enough. Like, he is good enough to carry a terrible coach. And I'm not saying Billy's terrible, but I think he has the skill set to be able, with the talent around him, even though the trenches are lacking a lot. You just watch what Jordan Travis did in Tallahassee. He pretty much got Mike Norvell paid, you know, off of 1 year of work, and it was him just elevating the play around him. He had some talent around him, but he was elevating the play calling. The play calling wasn't great, and we can see it now. But escaping the pocket, you know, extending plays with his legs, doing things that was just crazy. We should have beat them in Doak that year. the kid just unsackable. We had him wrapped up 4 or 5 times in the backfield, and somehow he just pulled a rabbit out of the hat, and he's out of the pocket and throwing a touchdown. So, yeah, I do think Lagway has similar game, gamey. He's just a gamer. And also his skill set is higher than, say, a Jordan Travis. He has gamer in him, but his skill set is way higher for what he could do physically. So I do think this kid is good enough. And that's what scares me about this, because we could be in a position where we got to extend a guy like Billy Napier, and it's all based off the play of somebody like DJ Lagway. And then you don't know if the next quarterback has the same type of intangibles to be able to elevate the play around him. So it's tricky. I think as a fans, I think we're in a good predicament this season. I think Billy's got to show up and win some football games. The important people that pay the bills and that donate money are fed up with the product on the field. So I'm not terribly upset if he decides to play games at quarterback and don't play DJ Lagway like he's supposed to. I did hear some good things from Lagway in the post conference that makes me a little bit more comfortable with his tenure and his stay at Florida. It also depends on who we bring in next, but I think like the seat is hot, and I think Billy feel that seat warmer in the Maybach when he get in it in the morning. You feel me? So it's like either put up. You feel me? And this Saturday is a very important game. I think you need the audience to be involved. The audience and the crowd got out of the game very early versus Miami, and that cost him a lot of momentum and that advantage of being at home in the swamp. So I think you need Lagway, or you need some momentum. If Mertz will start, like Harrison was asking earlier, I think if Mertz starts and he struggles early, you got to transition quick to get the audience and the crowd into the game. You need that advantage. You need home field. I've never seen one coach kill home field so much like this staff has. So you need Lagway and that chant to get going early.
Yeah, we got a super chat, but I do want to. Rob S here said if Lagway balls, and one thing you have to give Billy credit for is the evaluation of quarterback. I think the one thing that we've always done is saying, hey, that Billy Napier's good at quarterback evaluation, right? I mean, he helped
in getting guys to commit, quarterbacks to commit too.
Yeah. Outside of some shady stuff with Austin Simmons too, like Jaden Rashada, Austin Simmons was likely going to commit. Obviously, you got DJ Lagway in there. He made a huge step up last year with Graham Mertz. He helped Anthony Richardson get drafted 5th overall. Like, you can debate until you're blue in the face about what his role in that was.
It's a friendly system.
Yeah, he helped Levi Lewis, really, do well in college. Like, he's done well quarterback position, and we've never said that otherwise, right? So, like, yeah, he is a good talent evaluator, and somehow, some way, he's able to convince these guys to come over here. But yeah, so let's look at some super chats. Nick might need your help in this one. Sam Adams, shout out to your beer. I'm late, but did you guys speak on why Shamar and Pop came out of the game the second series on defense? Do we have an answer?
It's Pop Warner, bro. Everybody gets a shot.
Nope. The
equal amount of snaps.
Players are fine with them picking 4 guys and just running with those 4. Like the entire.
They gotta tell you that. You think they really fine with that?
The entire linebacker room is fine with that.
Well, they need to know I'm not. I'm gonna text you.
No. The linebacker room is fine with picking 4. The problem is they're playing 7. They're playing every linebacker at various points of the game, except like Aaron Childs, who got like 14 snaps in 2 games.
Yeah, need him out there.
But that's what I'm saying is they would rather get 4 snaps or get 4 guys to get snaps, and those snaps be bigger. Only 4 people sharing the pie instead of the 6 that they're doing. With that being said, Jaden Robinson made a nice play. I don't think he would be in the top 4.
No, I think he's 5,
6,
maybe. I mean, he's playing more than Miles Graham and Aaron Childs are.
Yep. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't know that Florida stole Ron Roberts from Auburn really either. I think Ron needed a place to go and found it.
Yeah. Ron was on the market. Here's another question: if Billy goes 4-8 but hires a proven offensive coordinator,
hell no, Mike.
No, I think
he had a chance, right?
I'll say this: I think, just me personally, if Florida loses to A&M and it looks like it did against Miami, we'll have a Scott Strickland press conference that Billy won't make it past that. I don't know. I don't know that we're in like a remember the Titans coach Herman Boone situation where it's like the next time you lose, they're going to fire you.
Yeah. That type.
But if it looks like it did against Miami, where you don't even compete, at no point do you look competitive on the football field. If it looks like that against Texas A&M, I think the guillotine would fall then. I think Billy can keep his job still at 6-6, 7-5. There's a path. I was looking at it today. Florida can beat A&M. They can beat Mississippi State. They can beat UCF. They can be sitting at 4-1 going into Neyland Stadium, where I think they're going to get their asses kicked. Yeah. I think Tennessee is going to run it up on Florida.
They run it. If we got, I'm gonna be real.
Run it up. Run it up on Florida.
I like my chance with a shootout, bro, with Lagway, with anybody. He's just a gamer, bro. And I think this kid is next level. Like, regardless of how bad these coaches are, I think we get in a shootout with absolutely everybody on our schedule. Outside of Georgia and Texas, that's another level. But everybody else, I think we could get in a shootout and get like that. I don't think the explosiveness is on accident by any stretch of the imagination with DJ Lagway. I think there's a lot of like his mindset. And also the players going to feed off differently, man. They just got to play this kid. And I don't know why they playing around with it, even with Texas A&M. I don't think they have the luxury of starting slow. I just don't think they have it. You know, doubt creeps in with the players. And then if you lose a close one and Lagway came in late, you're just playing around the locker room, bro. You just got to switch quarterbacks. We need a spark. I think the Lagway quarterback in the rest of the season, like all bets is off with everybody on the schedule outside of Texas and Georgia. In my opinion, I think we got a shot at beating everybody with that kid at quarterback. He's different.
What do you think the chances are he's at quarterback?
Slim.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just keep it in the bean. Either way, like we've already talking about this presser that Scott Strickland is going to be on presser watch after every loss. So either way, it's a positive, I think, for the Gator Nation. We can just vibe out. We've seen the future. I'm glad that Billy got my young boys out there running around making plays. I'm just like, oh, man, look at all the toys for the next coach. Yeah.
No.
I'm going to put a hot take out here. I think unless he chooses to leave, Scott Strickland's going to get a third football coach hire at the University of Florida.
This one should be easy.
I don't know that it will be him picking it. He might still have his job.
Yeah.
I don't know that he'll be the one making the decision on the next football coach.
Do you want to make the announcement that we're the coach search committee?
The Stadium and Gale. Picking it.
I already got my guy.
I already got it. Nick's going to bring Jamie Chadwell back to the table. Nick's going to get kicked off the committee.
Oh, no, he's out of the committee.
Come on. Jamie's a great coach. I get it. You can't go – if you're making a coaching hire, you can't go another group of 5, 7, however many groups there are now down there. You can't go that way.
Experiments are over.
Jamie Chadwell is going to be a great Power 2 coach somewhere.
We gave these people the benefit of the doubt, man, with a lot of projects. No more, bro. Like this time, we riot. We pull a Tennessee.
Tall from a height.
Yes,
don't know what that
100%.
means. You guys think they'll hire a search firm? Yeah, they do that as a way to engage in conversations without things being open to the public through records requests and everything else. So even if they have somebody in mind, they will use a search firm, which my opinion is the greatest way to make like $300,000. Yeah, they did not last time, but that's because they had identified that coach before they had fired Dan Mullen. So
sorry to hear that. What are we hearing injury wise with us this week? Who's back? Who's missing? Devin Moore, he's still out.
We'll find out tomorrow. So because it's an SEC game
tomorrow or Wednesday.
Yep, Wednesday. The listen time is a flat circle, a construct made up by men that means nothing when you have a newborn. So yes, today is Monday. We will find out Wednesday night at 8:15. Also, the depth chart that usually comes out Wednesday, I believe we're going to push it to Thursday because the depth chart would have ended up coming out after the injury or availability report at 9. So I think we're just going to push that to Thursday when it comes out. Availability report will come out Wednesday. Talking to Billy Napier, or listening, not even talking to him, listening to him talk about it to the call-in show last Thursday at Ale House. He said there's still going to be some gamesmanship to that because I think you get one Thursday, it has to get updated. You get one Wednesday night, it updates Thursday, it updates Friday, and then it updates a half an hour before the game. So it's gonna be you can continue updating that. And schools will get fined if they're caught manipulating it, but we'll see how it goes. This will be the first one, but I don't know what Devin. At this point, unfortunately, because I think Devin Moore is a healthy Devin Moore is an NFL cornerback. I'll believe Devin Moore is out there and available when after kickoff.
Sometimes the best ability is availability. Yeah. So let's get into do you guys have anything else you guys want to talk about on the Samford game before we get into Texas A&M?
No.
All right.
Moving right along.
Let's get a couple quick ad reads in here. Go visit our friends over at Gametime Sidekicks. Looking for a cool cup like this one. A lot of great products out there for the University of Florida, as well as other SEC schools. Great products. You can compare them to a lot that are on the market for a cheaper price. Great quality. I was using this earlier today during work. Was gone for a few hours, came back. Ice was still in it, and this is a window that directly faces into it. So a great cup. Ice is going to last you a long time. Keep your cool drinks cool, your hot drinks hot. So go visit Gametime Sidekicks. Use promo code STADIUM15 at checkout. You'll get 15% off of your order. And then also go visit our friends over at Homefield Apparel. Go promo code is Stadium and Gale there. Anything that you want from a vintage logo, t-shirt spot, they're going to have that. They have the starter jackets. They have the cool baseball jersey, pullover that Nick has showed numerous times. Running a lot of specials. They're going to still continue to release products. So go reach out to Homefield Apparel at homefieldapparel.com. Promo code Stadium and Gale, all one word, and you will get 15% off of your first order per email address. All right, King Mike is back. Billy made us lose our fire teams. Teams are no longer afraid to play Florida. He is a laughingstock of the coaches. It's time to go in a different direction. So with that being said, the Gators do play Texas A&M this weekend in Gainesville at 12:30. No, what time?
3:30. Joe Tess.
3:30.
Bachelor. Katie George on the call.
Man, Jesse Palmer, do you see him against Miami? You didn't, Nick. And he was dressed in like a black suit, black tie, looked like he's ready to go host the Bachelor right after. So Texas A&M comes into this game 1-1. They lost 23-13 to Notre Dame, which now doesn't look like a great Notre Dame team. And then they beat McNeese State this past weekend, 52-10. A couple former Scooby Williams on that team. You've got Jaden Hill on that team. No longer rooting for Jaden Hill on this podcast, but quarterback is Connor Wegman. He is 23 of 44 for 225 yards this season, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. From a rushing perspective, their leading rusher is Le'Veon Moss, 154 yards on 29 attempts. And then their leading receivers are going to be Cyrus Allen. He has 100 yards on the year. Noah Thomas has 38, and Ja'Day Walker has 31. A couple of those guys with touchdowns. And Muhsin Muhammad's son is on their team. If you remember him from the NFL about 20 years ago, Moose Muhammad III is on that team as well. So on the defensive side of the ball for Texas A&M, we've talked a lot about going into this season about their defensive line. Nick Scorton is a great player, a guy that was, highly regarded, highly touted. When it comes to what they've been able to do, though, they only have, they have 20 total pressures on the year, 1 sack, 5 quarterback hits. I'm sorry, they don't have 20 hurries. They have 14 hurries on the season. So haven't seen a ton out of that defensive line to really see that they're living up to their billing, but they do play the Florida Gators offensive line this season. So, or this game. So gentlemen, what do you want to see out of this game? Have you watched much of Texas A&M? What are your thoughts on?
Yeah, I had to check them boys out, man. After my Jags lost, I had to put something on. I was all out of Yeah, shout out, hey man, pay attention in class, brother.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, pay attention in class. Well, we do appreciate you
pay
listening.
attention in class, man. Appreciate your listens, bro. To get the education, bro. I watched Texas A&M. I watched the Notre Dame game. Just, I think they're okay. They solid. You know, I'm not gonna take a whole lot out of because it's the first game of the season. But the Notre Dame game, I didn't see anything too exciting on film. They got athletes on that team for sure. They recruited well. Weigman, he's just not a good Weigman. However you say his name, I don't think he hasn't earned the right pronunciation from me. See if he earns it on Saturday. But no, I don't think he's a good quarterback. The numbers reflect it, the film reflects it. But when he plays us, we'll see what the defensive coordinator, Ron Roberts and Austin brings to the table, bro. But I haven't seen a defense that's intimidating in any sorts. The front four is just solid. They have Scooby Williams starting at linebacker. He getting significant playing time. Jaden Hill's playing. Florida? Yeah, and we were bad. We were bad. In my mind, like I do like. I'm gonna say this out of Texas A&M. I think they are very sexy with how they get to the passer. I respect Mike Elko and his efforts to try to get to the passer. So they try, and they do throw some exotic looks. I would like to see what their quarterback hurries look like as far as the defensive unit, but they only got 2 sacks. So
at the plan, real quick.
14 hurries.
14 hurries. Okay.
Yeah, Nick Scorton has 3. Shamar Stewart, you guys might remember him. He has 3, and Scooby Williams has 2.
Is Scorton back? I think he went out the game injured at one point in one of these games. I think the Notre Dame game. Is he back and healthy?
I believe so.
Okay. Yeah, for the defensive line unit, as talented as they are, they're not getting to the quarterback. But our right side could change all their fortunes this season. They may just find the spark when they play us in the swamp. But this is a team we should beat. Hands up and down, we should beat this team. This is a first-year coaching staff coming to our building. We have the advantage. They're favored for obvious reasons. People don't think highly of us. Vegas don't think highly of us. The fans, we don't think highly of ourselves right now. So I get the point spread, but me knowing what's on this roster, the potential of this team, there's no reason for them to lose this game, and they should be on fire watch if they were to lose this type of game in the swamp. That's why I don't know why he could play around with the quarterbacks and who he's starting and may not be starting, because this team got to go win football games right now. I don't think you have the luxury of playing around and giving, Texas A&M any momentum. And another thing, like Billy's attitude towards like these type of matchups haven't really pleased me. He don't take rivalry, and these guys are coming, they're gunning for him. Like Bateman, they're not coming in here on no funsies and hey, old boss. No, like the way they recruited towards the end and the vibes of that whole tenure over there, the way when they got our guys from us, like Jaden Hill, the Scoobies. I know we kind of pushed them out as well, but I think all of that's by design. I think Scooby and Jaden Hill, they're in that locker room talking revenge a little bit, coming back and spoiling some things in the swamp. So I need Billy's energy in the locker room to kind of reflect the type of environment the players are about to play, the energy they're about to get from the other 11 on the other side of the ball. And if he keeps treating these games as another game, we're gonna have problems in the SEC, because every game is personal in the SEC. There's no chill game, and this is just another game. No, every game you got to find a way to trick your team into being mad. That's what Nick said. He just make up things or come up with something to get your team mad. And Billy's just treating every game like it's just another matchup, and that's what scares me the most about this matchup, because I know they coming in gunning, and they want Lagway, so they coming in gunning.
Yeah. 2 lowest rated players on defense for Texas A&M. Desmond Ricks, former Alabama player.
Yeah.
Lowest on Texas A&M's defense. And then Jaden Hill is the second lowest on that team. Was surprised to see that again. Pro Football Focus, only 2 games into the season, but still was a little bit surprised to see that overall. I think that their defense is going to come out. They want revenge. I think that Sean Spencer wants revenge. I think Jay Bateman wants revenge. Florida beat them 2 years ago with Billy Napier. So they're going to want to come out. They're going to want to continue to ruin the Gator season. Mike Elko wants, a signature win to start his time over there at Texas A&M. So I think that Florida's got to be ready. They've got to be energized. They've got to know that the season's not lost yet, right? You have the opportunity to beat Texas A&M, then you have Mississippi State, then you have UCF, then you have Tennessee, and then you have Kentucky, right? Kentucky doesn't look to be the Kentucky that maybe some people had thought they might be at the beginning of the season. When we had the Kentucky writer on, he thought that they might, have 8, 9, 10 wins this season. But you've got to be prepared in each and every game and knowing that these teams want your head and they want to be the coach. If you can be the coach to get another coach fired, like obviously it's all the other straw that's on the camel's back, but if you can be the final straw to get a coach fired, like that's got to energize you, man. That's date night potential. You know what I mean, Nick? That's some baby making music in the background if you can get a coach fired.
Yeah. 100%.
I mean, I'm sure Jay Bateman wants to come in and pitch a shutout in the swamp.
Man,
shake Billy's hand on the Gator logo.
Yeah, it would be cool to want that when he was our coach. You know what I mean?
It starts at the top, man. It really does. It starts at the top.
Right now, the game is, I believe the over-under was 49 the last time I looked at it, somewhere right around there. Gators are anywhere between 3.5 and 4-point underdogs as of yesterday. Let me just pull that up real quick. Pause. Bear with me here. This is live radio. This is why we do this. This is why we do this.
I mean, it's easy. I like to talk, so I can just fill it in with
Florida.
just more jibber jabber.
All right, so right now, right now, Florida's. This is from Bet Online, so you look wherever you want to bet, where you can legally bet in your state. Florida's 4.5-point underdogs, plus 165 on the money line. Texas A&M is minus 190 on the money line, and over/under's dropped. It's 46.5 right now. 46.5 seems a little low. I know Rob just said
there is weather. There is weather that thunderstorms, 50% chance of rain. It's north central Florida, so that can change and will change 15 times before Saturday.
North central Florida,
yeah.
It's funny. So my wife is an occupational therapist.
Get flooded this weekend.
My wife's an occupational therapist. She used to do like home health, and now she works at the hospital. Used to do home health. People around Gainesville call Gainesville the city. Oh, we had to go into the city to do something.
Going to town.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, no doubt.
That's wild.
Hey, bro, I was in Ocala, right? Because everything in Gainesville was just sold out for the game. So I'm in Ocala. I'm gonna tell you something, man. Ocala don't believe in street lights.
No.
And it's really going into the town. That's what I felt like standing in Ocala and driving to Gainesville. Like multiple times.
Ocala's got a nice little downtown, though.
They do, yeah.
I didn't find it. It's some sticks out there. I didn't realize it was that big of a city as well. It's a lot of
it's growing, man. Ocala's growing like crazy too. Now they just added the World Equestrian Center that's there, and that's going to be a whole little like complex that they have that's kind of away from downtown.
It's a whole thing, but it's dark out there.
I mean,
John Travolta lives there.
Say what?
John Travolta not lives there, but John Travolta has a compound in Ocala.
He does, yeah, with his own airstrip.
That's fine.
Airstrip. Tennessee had to land at John Travolta's house one time.
That's fire. Shout out to that. There's no lights out there. There's no traffic lights.
Tyler apparently knows the area in Ocala well.
Yeah.
He called it Ocala.
My uncle lives outside of Ocala. He lives in the sticks. He lives in a city called Citra.
I was going to say, if you're living outside of Ocala, you're in the sticks.
Yeah.
You guys have never
Ocala is the town, is the city that you're driving into, then you're really in the sticks.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm from Belgrade, bro. Like, so I know what it likes to ride in the towns and whatnot. Yeah. But we got a lot of like street lights. There's not a lot of lights in Ocala. I just want everybody to be warned if they ever go there. And
you think more horses or stoplights?
Way more. Sure. Dude,
stoplights is fine. There's no street lights, fam.
Oh, it's dark out there. Oh, it gets dark.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It gets dark, fam. Like dark.
I was going to say something, but I shouldn't. Great golf club.
Naturally.
My uncle's member, Golden Ocala Club champion. Not a big deal. All right, guys, let's get into buy or sell.
Let's do it.
Buy or sell is sponsored by our friends over at Alumni Hall. Go visit alumnihall.com. You can get this shirt that I just got the other day. It's a Peter Millar golf polo. A lot of great stuff that you can get for men, women, children, young and old. Go visit Alumni Hall. or go visit them in Gainesville, Florida. Let them know Stadium and Gale sent you. All right, guys. Oh, I have a banner that says buy or sell. Okay.
Nice.
DJ Lagway. Oh, yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
DJ Lagway, 9.5 snaps. Boys, not all at once.
No, we get more than that. Now we burning down the joint. Them the rules.
You see, I'm not helping myself because I set the line.
You did before the show. You did.
Should have made it easier for me.
Self-sabotage.
I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna say
they played 69 snaps against Samford, which is probably on the higher end of what they would play.
Yeah. And that's a nice number of snaps.
Yeah, very nice.
No, that's not enough. I need more.
So I'm gonna go with over. I think, and maybe this is me being optimistic, which got me in trouble earlier preseason. And I swore off positivity. But I think Graham will start, and I think if it looks bad, if they're not able to move the ball, I think you'll see DJ get the third series, get the fourth series of the game. And if it looks good, I think you could see him stick in there. So I'm going to go over 9.5.
I don't know if I buy that Graham Mertz is going to struggle like vastly. Right.
Right. But he struggled against Miami.
Yeah. No, he did. Right. But yeah, you're right.
It's not necessarily Graham is struggling, but the offense isn't moving.
Right. Like what I want is like, I want to see DJ Lagway play intently. Like I want his snaps to be for a purpose. I don't want to see us having lunch with my buddy Derek today. And we were talking about this. I don't want to see DJ Lagway out there. Say what?
What'd you guys have?
We went to Hat Tricks. You've been there.
Oh, yeah. Shout out Hat Tricks. Fire establishment.
Best sports bar, great food in all of Tampa. So we were talking today. It's like what I don't want to see is I don't want to see DJ Lagway come in on like a random third down and then get pulled and then play like 2 snaps in the first half just to like try to keep them somewhat off balance, right? Like I want to see him get an opportunity to play in this game.
100%.
I'm gonna go over. I'm going to likely regret that decision because that would mean smart play calling. All right, sacks 2.5. Will the Gators? I'm trying not to. I don't need to be sassy this entire season. Will the Gators get 2.5 sacks against Texas A&M? Now you're probably wondering how many sacks have they allowed? They have allowed 2 this season.
Under.
They've allowed
O-line did look stout.
Oh, I'm sorry. They allowed 1 quarterback hit and 12 hurries against Notre Dame and East State. So 2.5 sacks. Nick's under?
Yeah, I'll take the under.
Okay. I'm going to go over. I'm going to go with 3 because I don't think Connor Wegman's very good. I think George Gums is going to have a breakout day where he's going to get 1.5 sacks. I think Tyreek Sapp gets 1, and then I think Jamarcus Weston gets a half.
Get out of here, man.
Somebody's got to do it. All right. Will the Gators get 0.5 interceptions or more? So that means the Gators will get 1 interception.
You got to give me 1. Yeah.
He has thrown 2 this season.
You got to get me 1. You got 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, man. The place that should be rocking. If that place is loud, like, give me 1. I need one of my and also at safety. I know we haven't been talking a lot. We passed that point, but give me more of the young boy. What's his name? George
Gregory Smith.
Gregory Smith. Give me Gregory Smith. Like ASAP. I need to see that boy play some more football.
We got the freshman not playing tweet from Gregory Smith today.
He played 10 snaps. I mean, like
yeah, but it was just like the quote, like I gotta be patient quote.
Yeah. It's like the Bible verse.
Keep telling myself.
It's one thing when every word is out, he's eating. At practice, like everybody's talking. It's a talk. Like, yo, no, this kid can make plays. He can cover a lot of ground. He's a ball hog. So, and then you start seeing spill out and tweaks a little bit. He's itching to get on the field and showcase what he got. If we're struggling on the back end, pause. Make that switch, man. Give me some Greg Smith. Pause. That got wild.
All right, Nick, were you buying or selling that the Gators are going to get an interception?
I'll buy.
Nice. Banks open, baby. Interest rates are about to go down. The Federal Reserve is about to allow some spending. I mean, Nick might be buying all season. All right, rushing yards. You think the Gators will get 150 rushing yards or more in this game?
I'm buying it. We have to win again. I got us winning, so I think we gotta go 150 plus to win the game. Between quarterback, I want to see more Lagway. I think he opens up more the run game. Don't play yourself, Billy.
Yeah, the Gators go for 139 against Miami, 166 against Samford. Obviously, they were airing the ball out. And you could almost call that 85-yard Trey Wilson a run. Like, I know it's classified as a pass.
Boy, so they selling everything, man.
Yeah.
150 rushing, I'll buy it.
Buy? Okay.
I'll buy that.
Get like 90 for Montreal, 40 for DJ.
40 for DJ.
Sprinkling a little. I'm drinking positivity. I'm drinking.
I like that.
Baby. It's the baby.
That guy, it's the baby.
It's the baby. It's what happens when you have a girl, man. You just get positive. Wait till you have a boy. It's gonna balance it all out.
I want to talk after buy and sell about backup running back behind Montreal Johnson. So I wrote that down. So we're going to talk about that. D, we'll get to your super chat here in a second. I'm going to sell.
Oh, QB.
Buy everything.
QB's taking over for me.
So Nick buys, Corey buys. I'm going to sell. I think the Gators get 149 rushing yards. And they were over 150, but they take a kneel at the end of the game to win it, to drop them down to 149. All right.
James.
Do you think the Gators offensive line will allow five pressures or more?
More.
Yeah.
More. Up the numbers. Those are rookie numbers. Up the numbers.
Whatever's with the O-line, like, just put me in the same box as Nick. Negative.
Whoa.
The O-line
box is Nick. That's nuts.
Yeah. It is.
If you don't know what that means, don't look it up. Shout out to my parents. Let's see.
Same. Oh, pause on that, man.
Yeah. Jeez Louise. All right. The Gators have allowed nine hurries this season. Just 9 hurries. So 4.5 per game. So when you say that's rookie numbers, like.
Yeah. You just played Samford. Not Stanford. Samford.
I think he's talking about the other line. Who are you talking about? Our line?
Yeah.
Our line. Yeah. But like we're talking, Dan's like, well, they've only given up this many. And I'm like, yeah, you played an FCS team.
Okay. I mean, we gave up on against Miami.
I don't have it pulled up by game. Let's see. Blocking.
That's why they pay you the big bucks, bro. Yeah. You statistician, lead host. Yeah. You got it all figured out, fam.
All right, let's do schedule. Shout out to Pro Football Focus. Got to up your server space. Let's go, guys. All right. Against Miami, they allowed 7 of the 9 were against Miami. So buy. Okay. Yeah, I'll buy.
Dan was like, what do you guys mean? The number is low.
Well,
7 versus a real team.
Somebody's got to be. I've got to set the betting lines, and I realized that I probably set that a little too low, and that's why everybody's buying.
You just looked at a total and divided it by 2 and set a line when the
I actually
number.
What's funny is I didn't look, but like I kind of assumed that they were somewhere around 5 or 6 per game. Looking back, I probably should have done like 7.
But right tackle might let up 4.
But this is where we are. You know what I mean?
Who you think he trots out at right tackle? Why are we talking about that? Who you think he trots out?
And Brandon Crenshaw Dixon.
Oh, we got it right.
Yeah. No, I've got. I need Brandon Crenshaw Dixon. I think that he is better than Cam Waits. I don't know how much better.
But man, anybody's better than Cam Waits. He's like, he's borderline DeLance.
Oh, we called Gene DeLance the doorman. Just letting him through. So
this is a Walmart greeter. This ain't a doorman. This is a Walmart greeter.
It's kind of like that. It's like the quote. Remember in Home Alone 2 when Macaulay Culkin walks into the Plaza Hotel and he asks Donald Trump how to get to the lobby? That's what I imagine the Gators right tackle is. They're like, how do I get to the quarterback? It's like down the hall and to the left, you know?
It's bad.
Man, this isn't personal or critical, but
no,
all
man.
right, let's
all positive.
Thanks for bringing that up, Lauren. I want to talk about tailgating. Jaden Baugh. We've seen a lot out of Jaden Baugh so far this season. He had the unfortunate fumble in that game. But what are you guys doing at running back? Trayon Webb has just 15 yards this season. Jaden Baugh has 37. Jacoby Jackson has 27. Jaden Baugh is averaging 7.4 yards per carry. Jacoby Jackson's averaging 6.8. Trayon Webb's just averaging 2.1. Lowest on the team, even behind Graham Mertz, who's averaging 3.3. So what are you guys doing there at that position?
Go ahead. Sorry. So go ahead. So
you got it. Go ahead, fam.
Well, it's the question that I asked all offseason. What's the pie chart? What does that look like? Who's getting most of the carries? And I thought, like, does Montrell get 70%, 75, 80% of the running back carries? I think he'll continue to be the bell cow there. I think Jaden Baugh, if I'm making the depth chart, Jaden Baugh's 2. And then, like, we're doing open competitions Monday through Thursday for running back 3.
You don't want to say it. I feel you. You don't want to say it?
No, I think you need to get KD the ball. I don't want KD to leave through the transfer portal after this year without getting more than 10 carries. I think he needs to start getting the ball, getting involved, feeling like he's part of the team.
Yeah, and I like Daniels a lot. To be real with you, I love Kanan Daniels' game. I do. I think they need to find a way to get him some touches. I don't care if it's bubble screen, swing passes, whatever. I think he's a weapon in the open field. I think, bro, it's gonna. I said this preseason. I'm gonna be watching to see how Webb carries play out. I just think the other two guys are just, better suited for the offensive line that we have. I think Webb is more of a downhill guy that needs space to operate and get busy. When Jaden Baugh, it has probably the biggest back in the room, but he has a lot of wiggle, and he's just vision wise, just total package. Jaden Baugh is probably the most complete put together back in that backfield. And then Kaden Daniels is lightning in a bottle in a lot of different aspects, and he can make guys miss. If anybody's close to ETN, it's probably him in that capacity to be able to make somebody miss. So it's just like, I don't know how the carries going to work themselves out. And I like Jackson. Like, we didn't even talk about it. Like, I love Jackson's urgency when he gets a carry. Like, he's pushing the line of scrimmage in the pocket in a very aggressive way. I like his running style. He's a monster, to be real with you. I think we have a very good running back room. I don't know, bro. If I look at it, it's going to be funky to see how the carries play out. But right now, just keep it all the way a bean. I don't think Webb is RB3. I think he's probably RB4, in my opinion. And this is just my opinion.
I don't want to tip the Gators' offensive scheme, but according to Pro Football Focus, if it's not Montrell Johnson on the field, the Gators are running the ball with who's ever at running back. He is the only one that in the halfback room that has registered any sort of pass blocking grade.
Pass pro.
Yep. So, Billy, I know you're listening.
No, he hasn't made it this far. No, I don't think he made it this far.
Yeah. Most people kind of cut out after 45. So,
that Walmart remark probably got him out of here. He's like, all right, this is enough. This is not a serious show.
That's not good. You don't want to see that. You don't want to tip your hand if you have another running back in there. Now, again, this is Pro Football Focus, so we don't totally know, how all of it gets logged. There could be a mistake, but again, the way that it looks right now in Pro Football Focus, that if you are a running back and you are not Montrell Johnson, you are running the ball that play. All right. Any final thoughts on Texas A&M, on Samford, on DJ Lagway? And then I want to get to talking about what seems to be an iron fist at Taps.
Hey, man, Lagway a bust. That's what it is, man. Everybody,
sorry.
We all on the same train. And you can do this with us or without us. We watched the last coach do the same. Quarterback shenanigans didn't work out for him. You know, like just make the right move, play the absolute best guy, and it'll all work itself out, man. You can't cheat competition, and you can't cheat the kids on the team, the fans. We all see what it is a little bit. I'm not saying flat out bench anybody right now, but clearly you're about to play both guys. And going forward, however it shakes out, like go with the better guy, the more explosive guy, the guy that can get the team, the fan base, everybody, you know, with some positivity. And Lagway has that.
Yep. All right.
One more thing.
Yes.
I didn't mention, I think I was muted, but when you mentioned Aaron Gates, the urgency that my guy runs through receivers when they were throwing screens.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
Sign me up for some more 13.
Yes,
Sorry,
sir.
Sharif.
All day. All day.
Saw Sharif with his knee in a brace on Saturday, left knee. I'm fine with 13 though.
Aaron Gates is shits. Yeah.
You got a cornerback. You got a cornerback who sniffs out a screen and instead of waiting back and letting the receiver get into his chest, goes runs downhill, runs through the block, and gets his hands on the guy catching the pass. Sign me up for that.
Yeah.
Getting some Chauncey Gardner Johnson vibes with that nasty play in the nickel.
We got a few nasty players on the defensive side of the ball. Got to get, you know, some momentum and some sacks and things flowing. But I like Gums' energy. I like Pup's energy. I like Aaron Gates' energy. I like Castell. He just got to make plays. But the energy from that standpoint, we got the right mentality. Looking for some of that leadership on offense. I did see some of that with Lagway. But we'll see how it all plays out. But I do like Aaron Gates a ton. Knifing. They call it knifing, like unblockable. In bubble screens, he's getting to it. He got intentions with all his moves, man. 100%. Good call, Nick.
I want to bring back buy or sell real quick. Buying or selling the nicknames DJ Dimes or Lagwagon?
My guy, Dan, Velo Fallon hit Dan with the "You've never been whiter in your entire life."
Oh, that was terrible.
And Dan hit him with the "Gee golly, thanks."
Yeah, by golly, gee whiz, it's DJ Dimes.
I threw tomatoes at that tweet so fast. Like, get that out of here, bro.
Oh no!
All right,
but hey, shout out to the DJ at the Swamp after the first touchdown. They hit us with a little Manny Fresh, go DJ.
Oh, nice.
Up in the Swamp after it.
Hey,
sometimes you got to pick the low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Hey, Tank Hive, we here too. I ain't gonna let you out the hook. Tank Hive, we here, baby.
Yeah.
Big Tank, No Limit Soldier.
That pass was a little underthrown.
Yeah, because he outran it. Imagine outrunning a DJ Lagway with Tank, baby. You gotta get Tank to rock, bro. That boy's special as well. Glad to see like the chemistry of wide receiver 2, QB 2, a little bit with Aiden Mazzell. He got some chemistry with those guys because he's been playing with the twos in practice. But good to see the speed as the young boys get busy, man. Tank is gonna be a special player. He's back and healthy. Let's go.
Tank's 100 time on his back. 10.
Also want to give DK a quick shout out on punt returns. I think he looks
looking all right.
Yeah, he's looking all right.
I'll take it back. I'll take that back. Sorry.
No, you're good. All right, let's there was some controversy this weekend, and it doesn't seem like the controversy is going away. Transportation and parking services at UF seems to be blocking off the lawns where over by Frat Row and other parts around campus to limit parking. Nick, do we have any more detail? Like, do you know more about that? So, like, obviously, huge controversy on Saturday morning. Harmonic Woods, I think, was the one. They throw a big tailgate over by Frat Row in the Harmonic Woods area. Brought it up to say that, hey, they were going to have to do their tailgate over by, I think over by the gym, over by Southwest. I don't really remember, but ultimately they, over the next hour or so, they reversed that decision. The police started to take the tape down. Do we know anything more about that? Because it seems like there's a move to block off the lawn for parking again. Is that an overnight thing? Is that a UF doesn't want them ruining the grass?
I don't know. I did not inquire about it.
My lawn.
I did not inquire about it with what's going on inside the football facility. And a newborn at home, didn't spend extra time asking about parking. Yeah. So I'm just reading and talking to people who were there on the ground. Some cops, UFPD, told them that it came from UF, not from the University Athletic Association.
No,
to
I don't think
separate
so.
entities. I mean, shut up though. If it's about not wanting to pay for grass, there's 7 home games. In 12 months, there's 7 home games.
You have a $1.5 billion endowment, which I know like most of that has to go to like academic programs and everything else. Your school brings in more money than you've ever brought in, not only in athletics, but in tuition and everything else. Like you have an entire degree program that's focused on sod, right? And turf management. Like you guys can figure it out. It doesn't look that bad. Nobody cares. I assure you, nobody's not coming to UF because they're like, that looks like a spot a bunch of people tailgated on. I'm out. I'm going to Harvard instead.
Is that dead grass? I'm out of here. I think it's silly. You get football brings in so much money. The UAA literally cuts a check to the University of Florida every year based on the money that football makes. Football makes enough money to fund. I think basketball funds itself, but football funds itself pays all of the people inside the University Athletic Association, all those people who've been there for 30 years with 100% vested 401ks, makes enough money to pay them, makes enough money to cut a check to the University of Florida to alienate a fan base who's already pissed off.
Yeah.
To alienate a fan base because you don't want to put some extra grass down. You can get off my lawn with that. I mean, it's a bad decision. I did like seeing UF Taps catch these hands on social media.
I'd love to see Taps catch these hands every day. I remember getting a couple parking tickets.
Taps is one of the only Twitter accounts I have blocked.
Good.
Just blocked them.
Good. Like to see that.
You like their tweets?
I don't like them. I don't like them. I don't like the record company, the label. I don't like their last album. I don't like anything about them.
Get your shit off, fam. I ain't stopping you. Get in your bag, bro.
Yeah. So I mean, just like a PR disaster, and like obviously it came from probably Taps or the university, and not the athletic department. But like, I just want some like good news or like something that doesn't go wrong for a week.
How about that?
Right? Like, stop shooting yourself in the foot, right? Like, how much money do those fans bring in yearly, right? Like Harmonic Woods has a couple hundred people at their tailgate every week. Throughout campus, you have thousands of people that are paying money to be at the university. They're probably buying stuff at the store. They're buying beer. They're buying drinks. They're buying tickets, buying all this other stuff. Like, I know sod can like be expensive, but like just replace it after the season's over. Then it'll look pretty. And then like, it's not a big deal. You know what I mean? It's not in the middle of campus, you know? So I don't know.
How many areas did they shut down? Is it just that area? Like, they shut down?
No, it was all over. I think Harmonic Woods just kind of has.
They were the ones.
So like that's where like David Soderquist and High Top go. Dave Waters goes there. So you have some bigger social media presence there, but there were people responding like, hey, I'm over in this area. Even when they took the ropes down, the police line off, and let Harmonic Woods go back to where they were, there were still people in the comments who don't have the social media following to kind of create an outrage, being like, hey, we aren't able to tailgate where we've been tailgating for a decade. I think it was kind of just a reaction to a certain area that garnered attention. But you know, we'll see. We'll see this week.
You know what I mean?
But like I'm with you, Dan. Like, hey, listen, we threw some sod down in the summer. It grew. We don't expect to have a lot of grass in these high trafficked areas.
Yeah.
And we will resod in December.
Yeah. You know, I don't know like how
sounds like a fair deal.
Grass is gonna, handle the winter climate, but like
that's Zoysia grass?
No, I don't know. I don't think
that's Zoysia.
That's just my favorite type of grass is Zoysia. Yeah, I'm a big fan
me
of
too.
Zoysia. Yeah.
If it's Zoysia, then they gotta get off the grass. I'm be honest.
Yeah.
If it's St. Augustine, if it's Zoysia, I kind of get it. I get y'all hats off that grass.
Listen, just buy some damn St. Augustine grass. It's like a weed. They can trample on that as long as the roots are there. It'll pop back up, no problem.
Yeah, that's different. That's different.
No, but I feel you, Silk. That Zoysia grass hits different. You know what I mean?
It is different, bro.
What is Zoysia grass? What pod? What
it's like the golf
podcast am I
grass.
on? Ooh.
Yeah.
So I used to take care of
Fantastic.
sports fields for like a living, like before I stopped working and whatnot. But I used to do turf care. So like I did golf course, baseball fields, and a lot of it's called pest control, but we took care of turf in a lot of different capacities. So zoysia grass, a lot of like estates on Palm Beach Island. I used to have accounts out there I used to take care of. That grass is hell of expensive and hard to take care of, man. So if it's zoysia, get off the grass.
That's kind of grass you take your shoes off, your socks off, and
For sure. Just
let
Ryland's letting you know. So, all right, Nick, time to take the hat off if you have questions about grass. He thinks it's in Augustine grass. Appreciate the live fact check. Zoysia, that would. I mean, I would get it. You know what I mean? I'd get it. All right, 100%. Guys, let's get us out with song of the week. Nick, I think it's you.
No, I went. I did Kanye West. All Falls Down after Miami.
that's nasty work.
Appropriate. Felt appropriate.
All right, let me find a song and then let's give a quick shout out to everybody that watched. We appreciate you guys. Everybody that did a super chat, we really appreciate you. Everybody that hit the like button, subscribe button, we appreciate you a ton as well. So please visit our sponsors, Brun Insurance, 954-589-2204. Homefield Apparel, promo code Stadium and Gale. Gametime Sidekicks, promo code Stadium 15, and Alumni Hall. So go visit them. I'm going to play Teddy Swims, Hammer to the Heart.
Be my first time hearing this.
You'll like Teddy Swims.
Yeah.
Edward.
He's like a soul R&B.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
I like my vibes.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we'll get out of here. Go Gators. They play 3:30 on Friday. If you're going to the game, be safe, have fun. Saturday. I said Friday.
Yeah.
Saturday.
Friday we back with Emmitt Smith though. Pull up.
Yeah, Friday back with Emmitt Smith at 12:15 right here on this channel. We appreciate everybody for watching, and we will see you at the same corner, same time next week.
Yep.